Hello and welcome to the worst movie ever made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hassick. Hey guys, how are you? And why are we doing this?
I'm shitty because we're talking about Michael, which was my win on the poll.
It was.
Um, the thing that I think it's a delightfully stupid movie. One of you guys are going to describe it because I did it last. I described the movie last week, but
I think it'll be me.
the thing that bothers me the most is I have been writing professionally full time for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Where do these jobs exist? Where you just go into like a bullpen and go like, I heard about a dog in Iowa. And then like they just pay for your shit and you go and then you have like a house.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
I
Yeah,
don't think they exist. If they ever did, they
Yeah.
don't anymore.
Yeah. That's where I'm at mentally, Bob.
yeah. The linking of scenes and situations was missing 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
I was told to say this at the beginning. If a movie starts with a Randy Newman song, and that movie isn't Toy Story, fuck that.
There's an angel with his wings. His hair is stupid and he smells real sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
So
say
the movie-
before Chris
Go ahead.
explains the movie, this was written and directed by Nora Ephron. Do you guys know who that is?
She wrote that
I-
book about her neck or something, right?
No. Nora Ephron was responsible for When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in
Oh,
Seattle,
wow.
You've Got
Right.
Mail. She did like
What
all
went wrong?
successful romantic comedies, except none of them had like supernatural occurrences. So maybe, that's why. Who knows?
Maybe.
She did write a book called I Feel Bad About My Neck as well.
Oh, okay.
Did she?
Yeah, it probably sucks.
Yeah, probably does.
Go ahead,
So
Chris.
Michael is a movie where John Travolta plays a literal angel who is visiting Earth, and we find out later that it's for a specific purpose. Although I would argue that they don't lay that out for you very well. We'll
Yep.
talk about that later. When you are introduced to this character, he has wings, so he's an angel, I guess, but he's a smoker and a drinker, which really doesn't play into the rest of the movie. He's just an angel who likes to come down to Earth to have fun, and he's not worried about his abilities being put in the forefront because he's willing to go to Chicago with the main character, William Hurt's character, Frank, so that Frank can publish a story about him for Bob Hoskins' character. Don't remember his name.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the movie. That's the setup, and we'll throw it to YouTube to get a little taste.
Cool. I'm playing the bumper, but I'm doing something different. We got an email, so I'm going to read
Yay!
that instead of our YouTube comments. The subject line was a thank you, and the body of the email says, "Hey, I can never watch Nothing But Trouble. The commercials made me nauseous. So thank you for watching it for me. I had forgotten the digital underground somehow. Now I gotta go limp to the side like my leg was broken." P.S. Suggestions: Darkman 3, Die Darkman Die. It sucks. The first Darkman is actually good, and Liam Neeson is awesome. I don't know anything about it, but I like Liam Neeson for
I've seen them all.
reasons of Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Batman from 1966, 2 words, shark repellent. And I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say this is the worst movie ever made podcast. And Batman from 1966 is a great movie. So I personally won't put that on the poll because nostalgia. And then Morbius, it's Marvel, and Marvel could do no wrong except for this. Well, we'll see about that. Cobra, the guy's name is Marion Cobret. Final Fantasy: The Spirit Within, first completely CG movie, almost ruined SquareSoft. EPS, be nice to my Marvel movies. Thanks, sissy. That seems like a rude sign off. They just called us sissies. But they emailed us at theworstmovieevermade.com. Where you could also send similar emails. And I will be considering some of these movies for the polls, except for Batman from 1966, because Batman from 1966 is a really good movie.
Well, we had made a promise to the audience if they emailed us with movie suggestions that we would pick one and do it. And Rob and I were talking off air when he told me about this email. Yeah, I really like Cobra with Stallone for the podcast. It's really dark. It's really dumb. It's like a cocaine infused cop movie where
Let's do that one. Let's do that one.
Yeah, I mean, Bob.
Yeah, I want to say I've seen it, but I don't 100% remember. But I know that's perfect.
It is perfect. He's one of those. It's like what Last Action Hero is making fun of.
Okay.
Like to a T. You know,
that's my movie.
Like I don't mean specifically. I mean like Last Action Hero is making fun of movies like this.
Yeah,
nice.
You know what I mean? It's pretty on the money. So I say we do that. So not next week because we did do a poll for this upcoming week, but the following week we will not do a poll. We'll just do our post on Instagram. What I like to do is find different images of the same movie and then give the audience the choice between the three. And what's funny is you guys always choose one of the three. We get a bunch of votes on them anyway. So yeah, in 2 weeks we'll do Cobra. We'll announce later what we're doing next week. Sound good?
Sounds good.
That's awesome. Thank you for writing.
Yeah, for real. Thank you. You didn't make fun of us enough though.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah, at all, really.
I mean, come on. Test number 1, the worst of its kind.
I think you might have a really big load of grumpy, petrified poop up your soul's ass.
Which is the worst of its kind?
City of Angels with Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan, a 58.
Put Goo Goo Dolls on the map, man. Can't go wrong.
Sleepless in Seattle. How about that? Hanks and Meg Ryan again, a 75.
Huge.
If you say you got mail, I'm gonna freak.
I'm not. What Women Want with Mel Gibson, a 54. That one's not good, in my opinion.
Yeah, that might make our pod.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible and offensive. Space Cowboys with Eastwood and Tommy Lee Jones. I'm not sure why, but 78 there. Yeah. And then When Harry Met Sally.
Right.
Yeah.
Bing Bing, a 91 with Billy Crystal. And I'm not going to say the other actress because I've already said her name twice, and I don't want it to seem too too repetitive.
Too heavy.
So, yeah, an average of 71.2. Michael, what do you guys think?
I don't have my YouTube barometer, so I'm just gonna say 4%.
I'll go 20.
36.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think it's a bullshit movie, and that's a bullshit score. A negative 35.2 nonetheless with a worst of its kind. So I've already jotted that down. Let's throw it now to test number 2. Ain't that a pitch? Test number 2.
Oh, hi, Mark. This is the beginning of a scene. We talk about the movie, make the movie about the movie. In this case, The Room.
Ain't that a bitch?
Who wants to go first?
I haven't gone first in a while.
How about Bob, me, Chris? That sound good?
Fair enough.
Sound good. All right. There once was a man named Travolta whose body made me feel revolted. Hey, Pulp Fiction was good, but I thought he understood that since then he's been seriously demoted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, my turn. I have a good feeling about mine this week. Normally, I feel like I get in my own way on these, but I'm happy with how this one turned out.
Okay, nice.
There once was an angel dude who smelled sickly sweet but acted quite crude. He flapped his big wings, got that dumb bitch Dorothy to sing, but never got to stop and see the world's largest ball of poo.
There it is. Okay.
Well, it would have to be a Spaceballs moment where he was looking at his own movie for him to see that.
That was a great scene when they're waving their hand in front of the camera, like we haven't written the direct yet.
It is pretty awesome. All right, Bob. The reason I wowed so much was because the idea behind your pitch and mine are very similar. Listen to this. 96 for Travolta was an absolute curse. Broken Arrow, Phenomenon, and this Afterbirth. But trust me, Michael is downright delightful compared to what's coming in Battlefield Earth. I'm going with Rob, though.
Yeah, I'll join you on that one. I'll do him a 4-star.
Okay, yeah, 4-star sounds good.
Cool.
4 stars, Rob. Let's throw it to test number 3, the most offensive.
You got it. Hey, do you guys want to talk about all the offensive parts that we witnessed in this movie?
In a few minutes, bitch.
All right, I actually have a bunch.
Cool.
Number one is Es-kid-mos. Right up in the beginning, it's kids doing Eskimo face. They're not Eskimos. They're like they're not
It's like
Inuits. I should say.
appropriation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So they just pick kids that are from like a different ethnicity and make them Inuits for this magazine cover, which is pretty messed up. So kids doing Eskimo face, I think, is kind of offensive.
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins is seen punching poor defenseless plants toward the beginning of this movie too,
Yes,
and
he is.
I don't like that. Right there is Lucy. I think a devil's ivy. I was looking her up. She's
you're
mine.
one of those. You can name your plants. Okay.
She's mine.
Okay.
Well, I had Bruce, and then my sister let Bruce die. I went on like a 2-week vacation for my honeymoon. I came back. Really terrible trip. Walk in my back door. First thing I see is my plant, and it's like brown, just like completely wilted and dead, and I couldn't revive it. And that was Bruce.
So it was a ghost the whole time, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I digress. Number 3, gullible girl gets got by 3 guys.
Oh, the marriages.
Yeah.
It's
it's a shameful device, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Number 4, dogs don't shave diatribe. He went into her hard about how she thinks dogs are better than people because guys have fucked her over and now she's too damaged or whatever. And it's kind of it's a fucked up little. He's like kind of gone beyond redeeming at that point for me.
Yeah.
Great. What a piece of shit. Number 5, Rob, you might like this one. Judge, defendant, bing-bong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Right in front of the whole jury.
I know they're very clearly going to do the deed.
Yeah.
Number 6, upstaging the house band.
Always a bad look.
Always.
It's a terrible look.
Yeah.
Number 7, forcing film goer feelings by punishing the pooch. So I mean, they knew that this movie had no like emotional pull, so they ran a dog over.
And I don't want to get ahead of ourselves and like shit on the catch-all, but that dog should not have been in one piece.
No.
No, I agree.
Truck.
He must have just gotten clipped to death by a truck.
Yeah, just unconscious.
But you're right. Yeah, he just had his brain smashed in or whatever. Number 8, Angel initially unwilling to revive Rover. I mean, he could, and he chose not to.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to.
He's like, I don't want to waste it on the dog.
He didn't want to will, you know?
Number 9, this is my last one. Michael's magnetism means maidens may make misjudged magoo.
Damn.
Can you repeat that, please?
Michael's magnetism means maidens may make misjudged magoo.
Okay, cool.
So what I mean by that is that Michael is irresistible. So women don't really choose whether or not they're going to sleep with him. It's kind of like he's Bill Cosbying them all along the way, just without dropping anything in their jello.
Like, you do want to wrestle my weasel. Like I do.
That's all I got. You guys want to mention anything?
Yes. The thing that, can you guys guess the thing that disturbed me about this film that I include the audience into last week?
Oh, that's right.
Was it him walking? Was him walking with his clothes off through the kitchen?
Close. It's the only one thing I remembered about this movie when I pitched it for the poll. It does take the cereal.
Dancing?
The cereal.
Oh yeah.
the mountains of sugar and then the
Yeah.
spoonful of heaping cereal, and then he pours more sugar. It's just soggy, uncomfortable, unwholesome, and it just
It is.
it makes me shudder just thinking about it, dude. I don't know why.
It
I like
made me
sweet things, but like it just bothered me intensely.
it made me feel like Elf actually ripped that off a little bit.
Yeah, with the candy canes and all that.
Yeah, the like overly sweet makes you innocent or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder.
But to add on to that, he goes right into the sugar bowl with his spoon, like full of milk and shit. So he's ruining that lady's milk. And he's a
clumping up-
squatter.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I mean, don't ruin the lady's sugar.
Yeah.
Take it easy, man. All right, that's what I've got. So, Bob, I'm guessing your mention is him walking through the house practically naked.
Yes. There's a bug flying around my room.
It's
Yeah, I
flabby.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's very true.
Yeah.
Also, is maybe you're gonna mention this in a catch-all, but who's in more bad movies, Bob Hoskins or John Travolta? And Rob, there's an article idea for you.
That is
Yeah.
a really good article idea. And like, I
That's
was
an
actually
awesome
gonna-
article idea.
I was actually going to ask the question: is John Travolta a good actor? I feel like if he's
Yeah.
challenged to do so, he really knows how to deliver the goods. But like, I think he's overly enthusiastic about really bad movies, and that's kind of like his Achilles heel.
I'll agree 100% to that, Rob.
Every movie that I look up facts for, he says this is like one of my best movies, and he said that about this one too. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
They can't all be your best.
Yeah.
Forever considering his PR from director to director,
Yeah.
production team to production team. Test number 4, the worst dialogue.
Yeah.
Do you like what you see? Would you like to touch what you see? Would you like to go out with me? Would you like to fuck me?
Just the worst dialogue.
I gotta watch that movie again.
I'm really going to. I swear to God, I'm going to.
So good.
I think in episode like 250, we should do it again.
Yeah, just,
Something like that.
just revisit all of our worst movies in like one super episode.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
We've got 5 clips again here for the worst dialogue because these movies are so bad that you need to hear it for yourself, starting with number 5. This is Hippopotamus. Get ready to be really annoyed.
Hey! Well, wait a minute. Wait. Meadsboro, 1 mile.
So?
So that's where the world's largest nonstick frying pan is.
Oh no, Michael, we are not stopping to see the world's largest non-stick frying pan.
Why not?
Because we have to get back.
Well, me too. But before that happens, I would like to see the world's largest nonstick frying pan.
It is on the way.
Every time we stop somewhere, he gets us in trouble.
Yes, but he also gets us out of trouble.
Huey?
What? Well, he does. I mean, look, that judge just took one look at him. What is that? What is it about you?
What?
As a woman, could you explain that to me?
How should I know? I'm not the least bit attracted to him. No offense, Michael, but I'm not.
I put a block on you.
Oh, sure.
I did. All right. To continue. Presumably, this frying pan was coated with Teflon to save a wee bit on the amount of cholesterol ingested by the town of Meadsboro every year when they get together to honor
Michael, we're
AA.
not stopping.
You have 10 seconds to change your mind. 10 hippopotamus, 9 hippopotamus,
Oh, Christ.
8 hippopotamus.
How much more attractive is he than I
7
am? Now,
hippopotamus.
be honest with me.
Huey, this is not healthy.
5 hippopotamus, 4 hippopotamus, 3, 2, 1!
Real quickly though, I do like how he lords like the fact that he's doing them a favor over them in such egregious ways. He just blew out their tires so that he could see a frying pan, and he's like, "You gotta, because I'm doing this thing for you." And I do appreciate that. Just not this
That's
movie.
true. That's fair. That's where the 36% came from on Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. The hippopotamus thing was the clincher for me. That was like, okay, I'm definitely clipping this. Like, I gotta go back and see how far back this clip starts. But when they're talking about, so he mentions the frying pan, and Huey's like, oh, we'll go, and then what? Her name is Dorothy, right?
Yeah.
She's like, no, Huey, he always gets us into trouble, and then Huey's like, well, he gets us out of it too. And then they're like, Huey, like, what is Huey's point? I would. What if he doesn't this time? And plus, I don't want to be in trouble in the first place. I don't want to spend the night in the jail cell, whether he gets us out of it or not. I don't want to go to court just so that he can fuck his way out of it. I don't want to deal with all of that.
It's like the mentality that if you drive cautiously, like you're a wuss. But it's like, no, I just don't want to be on the phone with the insurance company and then go back and forth with the body shop. And it's like,
yeah,
it's better to err with caution so you don't have to deal with a bunch of other shit.
Yeah,
completely agree. Number 4. Number
4. Yarg.
Excuse me. This one is Thank You, Jesus.
Where's the thermostat? Are we talking about an angel here? We can't be talking about an angel.
There is no such thing as an angel. That is definitely the weirdest thing I have ever seen. It's like some great big bird made love to that guy's mother.
Yes, and we reap the benefits. I'm set for life. I mean, I could even get a raise. I thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. Oh. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. What?
That is not an angel.
It is too.
It is not.
I will handle this.
Where has he been?
Meaning what?
Meaning if he were a man with wings, which is the alternative here, we would have heard about him. You don't just show up at his age with wings. There would have been a story about him in the papers.
In the National Mirror.
Exactly. Baby born with wings.
The Birdman of Iowa.
It is not.
Birdman of Iowa.
I didn't believe them at all. I don't know if you guys felt this way too, but I felt like they were two actors dancing on a set when they were doing the Thank You, Jesus thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Completely unconvincingly, and it really irked me. That's bad acting. So it could have made it there, but it didn't because it's like some great big bird made love to that guy's mother. It was pathetic. But then, the Birdman of Iowa and just the whole kit and caboodle. I would not, even if the guy does have genuine wings and claims to be an angel, there are so many things that he'd have to do to convince me that he is of the Christian faith, that all of that is true and he's one of the archangels.
Yeah.
I would just think he's some like freak of nature, which even that I wouldn't. Like no one has ever been born with no human has been born with feathers to my knowledge, so I would still be completely suspicious.
Or like one of those guys that like makes himself into a lizard, like puts horns on his head and sharpens his teeth. Like he got wings surgically implanted in his back.
Yeah, that's more likely. That's a good point, Bob. Number 3. Here's more delightful dialogue of them in the car. Car bingo.
Hey, what's the opposite of white?
Black.
Wrong. Yolk.
What? What is that, like an egg joke?
Hey, Michael, when we stop to eat, are you going to put your coat back on?
Why?
Your wings, Michael. People are going to see your wings.
Are you afraid they'll think less of you?
No, just they won't know what to think, A lot of people aren't as sophisticated as me and Huey.
Oh.
We don't want any trouble. We just want to get to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He's worried that somebody will see you and try to steal his story.
I am not worried.
Yes, you are worried.
Hey, look what Pansy left us. Car bingo. Oh, dig the propaganda. The miles will fly and your children won't cry if you play car bingo. All right, everybody gets one. Here we go, hand them out.
So what do we do?
Here are the pencils. Instead of writing down a number, you write down what you see on your trip. Yeah. Okay. Dog, 1 point for me.
Oh, no, that's not fair. You played this before.
Not fair to me, I'm driving.
Deal with it. Bird on the wire.
Pick a fence.
Policeman.
Where?
It's the Dom DeLuise laugh that does it for me.
Former guest Kevin Mang is real good at that one. You should hear him do it. Oh my god, I want to have him back on the pod just so he could do that. Kev, come back. the egg joke in the beginning is really the reason I clipped it. I think what's the opposite of white, black? No, it's yolk, and then he just has that uproarious laughter. But also, miles will fly and your children won't cry if you play car bingo. And then the rules of the game are literally you just point to things and write it down, and you get a point.
I'm guessing you had to get like a diagonal or I guess.
Yeah.
I just
We actually had like a Cracker Barrel sold them. They were like little car bingo things, and they had little sliders. You'd slide over the things you saw. When one of my kids were little, this is before tablets. So
yes, definitely. I do remember card games like that. And I remember the Cracker Barrel ones. They had that little like pin game where you're like working towards the center, and they're like red and green. And I remember
this
that
one
one
you could like buy in their shop, and like I said, they're little glass, like red tinted glass sliders. Plastic, so you can play it again and again. So you don't have to use a pencil,
You guys remember in Hocus Pocus too, when the witches are like out of date, and that's how they built the comedy. They the witches didn't understand the modern world. Do you think that they should have used that device here? Because he is like clueless, but you don't understand at all how he's clueless. There's no real structure for how he doesn't understand what's going on. You know what I mean?
Is he just playing dumb? He has to be.
He seems
Like,
pretty
I don't think he's
pretty on
clueless.
it.
I think he's just playing dumb.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. But they didn't explain that. I couldn't get a grip on who he was.
That's
You know what I mean?
that's because it was a bad movie.
Yeah, it was
yes. I mean, he literally like rams a bull in the head with his forehead just to spite the bull.
Yeah.
But it's as if he didn't know what a bull was, and I don't know. He saw horns and he thought Satan, so he had to like do a standoff with a bull.
Yeah.
And I just I don't understand how his brain works. I guess, which they should detail for me a little better anyway.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Number 2, caramel.
It's caramels. He smells like caramels.
It's cotton candy. It's cookies. He smells like cookies. And the smell gets stronger when he's in heat.
What?
I love the gong.
The smell gets stronger when he's in heat.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do we? Is that an archangel thing or is that a man thing? Like, am I supposed to be in a period? Am I supposed to be in a period of like heat every month that I'm not aware of? And I have a medical ailment.
Yeah.
Like I was the one man born without the monthly heat because I'm not sure that.
Yeah.
All right. Number
1, Daddy.
Okay.
You know what? Fuck it.
Feel like I got to get a little context before I give the name of this clip.
Yeah.
It is a rom-com setup. It doesn't feel like a standard rom-com to me. I don't know about you guys, but you find out somewhere along the way that it's a rom-com, and there's conflict, and then there's resolution between the two, the lead male, lead female, and they knew they were in love, and when they see each other, they have this scene to tie the knot on their relationship continuing forward. It's supposed to be the climax of the romantic relationship between them on screen. You need to pour a lot of effort into the writing for a scene like this. It's very important. Just wanted to give you that. This is what they gave us. This is Marry Me.
And to play into Chris's point, normally rom-coms lean into the com at some point, and that's what was missing.
Of which there was none.
Yes.
What are you doing here?
I live here. I live 2 blocks from here. I was on my way home and I thought I saw
You came around this corner.
that corner.
love you, Dorothy.
I love you.
Marry me.
The wind chimes.
No.
Marry me, please.
No.
Marry me, Dorothy.
No.
Oh, my darling Dorothy, will you marry me?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I think that's some of the worst relationship clenching bullshit dialogue I've ever heard. It's absolutely awful. But yeah, Rob, to your point, the wind chimes.
Yeah.
Is that Michael like pouring in his,
Yes.
The
his
camera just
angelic
pulls out a little bit, and
magic?
this is behind them with all.
It felt like it felt like the Santa Claus all of a sudden. It felt like
Yeah.
a Christmas movie where there was like Christmas magic going on that made them fall in love.
Like
It just-
Lifetime. Yeah.
It sounded like the worst negotiating in a market ever. It's like, I'll pay you $20. No. $20. No. $20. Okay.
Yeah. $20.
Broke her down with
darling. Oh man. All right. Well, there you have it. Rob, why don't you take it away with your ad read?
Sure.
Hi, kids. It's me, Ronald McDonald, and I'm on the set of my very first motion picture ever. It's a movie called Mac and Me, and it stars my little friend from outer space here. His name is Mac, and I want to introduce you to him. Mac?
Rob's ad read.
Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Toaster Oven Hot Dogs at 11:19 p.m. Why wait until 3 in the morning when you can preemptively pull the shades, toast a tube steak, bust out the mustard jar that you have for dipping, and get an early start? The garbage bag full of homemade wine that you have fermenting by the radiator is ready for you to take an oblivion-inducing seeking swig, and you've got nothing to lose. What else are you going to do? Dream? Save money? Reconnect with your lost love? No. Hot dogs. If your head hits the ground before tonight turns into yesterday, consider it a win. Toaster Oven Hot Dogs at 11:19 p.m. The food of giving up.
Yes, very good.
Thank you very much to Hot Dogs at any time. We love when they join us, no matter what time of night or morning. Thank you very much for supporting the pod. Here you go, Bob. Take it away with test number 5, the worst production.
The Worst Movie Ever Made presents the worst production.
You can't even draw stick figures. Your cartoons aren't even funny enough to be on the Family Channel. You stink.
Hey guys, just came by to pick up the finished film.
Right.
All right. Fact. Worst production. I was reading the wrong part of my words. So I kind of rewrote this during the pod in my head.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say confusing and disjointed everything arc.
Yeah.
Fair.
Because so Rob mentioned this at the beginning. There's no links between scenes that make any sense as to how they got from one scene to the next.
Yeah.
Or why they went from one scene to the next. And I'm gonna use what Chris just said as my example, the romance. So I don't know at what point the two protagonists saw through the differences and came together. So first they were in jail fighting. The next scene, they were in the restaurant having pie and singing about pie. The next scene, they're making out and having sex. And how did they get there? Like, how did they get from fighting to just being in a restaurant and having sex? And not only just that, right? They had a third guy and a dog with them in every situation during the movie. Like,
That's
at what
true.
point? At what point have you had a romance blossom with a third party involved? Actually, don't answer that question.
In 2023, it's surprisingly common, I hear.
I've heard that too.
It's mostly guys that just let their partner cheat on them under the guise of polyamory.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but it just didn't. I didn't see it. Like when they had sex, I actually rewatched 20 minutes prior to see when they resolved their differences, and I didn't find it.
Right. Like, did I miss that?
And I'm like, did I fall asleep? Did I leave for a drink? Did I make a hot dog? What happened?
There is a moment. He says like really, really mean shit to her, and she starts crying. And then Michael's like, "You should apologize," and he's like, "Sorry."
That's it, huh? That's it right there.
Yeah.
Sorry, okay.
and she being as gullible as she was, I guess.
That's right.
He meant it.
I guess she has had 3 husbands.
Yeah, she's working on the start of her 4th shitty thing.
Yeah, maybe don't commit to a forever relationship when you're on a car ride home from like whatever. What was it? Arkansas, Illinois. I don't even remember.
Iowa.
I forget.
I think it was Iowa, right? Where the
Iowa to Illinois.
Wow. Okay.
Oof, yeah, that's a long ride.
Yeah, it's probably 2 days, but they do all the stopping. It can't be. I mean, if you go full stop, right? It's Cali to Connecticut, say, in like 3 days, 5 days,
3 days. Like if you're just like not stopping for the bathroom and only hitting up drive-throughs. Yeah, peeing in bottles. Yeah, it's like a 3 day.
Probably a day then from Iowa to Illinois.
Yeah,
but they spend. Yeah, I don't know. They stop so many times.
Chicago's like North Illinois, right? So.
Yeah. I don't have a map, but that sounds right.
I don't know. Here's a perfect opportunity for you to email us and make fun of us about how bad we are.
How bad we are
at maps.
With geography in our own country.
Yeah. Well, it's a sprawling landscape, so
it is. That's true.
Test number 6: the worst acting.
Not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Just the worst acting.
All right. 4 clips here. Starting with number 1. Cough.
Well, it was nice of you to come.
Mrs. Milbank.
Don't shake me, Mr. Quinlan. I'm contemplating my death.
Are you with the angel?
Do you see an angel?
I don't think I do.
Then how could I be with them?
Well, we don't know exactly how it works with angels.
How it works? If he's in the room, then you're with him. If he's somewhere else, then you're not.
And that's why we can't see him now. He's not here.
Are you impaired in some way that I haven't noticed, miss?
Miss Winters is probably never.
She's the smartest woman in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. It was the coughing. I mean, that was really bad direction. You can't have her go on like that. No one ever coughs like that.
No.
Not unless you literally are about to pass.
Yeah, seriously. Speaking of which, number 2, Blast.
Michael. I am completely happy.
Are you all right?
Feel your legs? No injuries. 6,360 battles.
Can you sit up?
Of course I can sit up. Now that is my nature. Yes, I am a grass roller, but I'm doomed to live in one place and crave the pleasures of another. But don't you feel sorry for me, no?
Why wouldn't we feel sorry for you?
Because this is my last blast, 26. That's all we get. Thank you, Quinlan.
For what?
I think he's saying there's no sex in heaven. Is that what he's saying?
You know, it's really not polite to talk about someone in the third person when that person is here.
I know. I'm very sorry. Sparky!
What do you mean? Last blast.
Only so many visits allowed.
Arbitrary with 26, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I'm getting at. Like this is exactly what we're saying when we're saying this movie is super disjointed. He's only allowed 26 visits to Earth, and this is his last visit. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
He's been in 6,360 battles. He's had no injuries. What?
Yeah.
Where? All in heaven? Or all 6,360 were on Earth, like during his visits. He counts like headbutting bovine as a battle.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I just and then because he says last blast, Huey, I think takes that to mean an ejaculation.
Yeah.
Because he says, I think there's no sex in heaven, which if there is no sex in heaven, that is not the heaven that I've ever conceived of. But but okay, I don't know. All of this is it's work towards like getting you to understand what's happening in the story, and it's bad work at that because I mean, this scene was supposed to resolve issues for me, and it made me more confused heading out of it than informed. So that's what this movie is good at. Let's toss it to number 3. Love.
Love is all you need.
Oh.
There's nothing you can know that isn't known. There's nothing no one you can save that can't be saved.
Nothing you can sing that can't be
There's
sung.
nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. All you need is love. Come on, sing. All you need is love. Not you, not yet. All you need is love. Just the guys. Come on, fellas.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need. Bring it down.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need. I love is all.
Hey, well, wait a minute. Wait. Meadsboro, 1 mile.
So?
So that's where the world's largest nonstick frying pan is.
Oh no, Michael, we are not stopping to see the world's largest nonstick frying pan.
Why not?
Because we have to get back.
Well, me too. But before that happens, I would like to see the world's largest nonstick frying pan.
It is on the way.
Every time we stop somewhere, he gets us in trouble.
Yes, but he also gets us out of trouble.
Sorry, I had to make it go wrong.
Yeah, what we're focusing on. This is once again, I said before, when Huey and Frank are dancing together in the hotel room, it feels like two actors on a set dancing for the camera. It doesn't feel like they're really having any fun, and I feel the same way in the car here. It's like John Travolta was told to sing that famous. What is that? A Beatles song?
Yeah.
It's okay. So he is singing a Beatles song, and they're all going to join in, and this is car bonding, and this is to help you feel emotional later. This is like they're just palling out in the car, but really it doesn't feel that way at all. In a good movie, it's more subtle than that. This is like, hey, look, they're having a really good time together in the car, and it just doesn't read that way. It reads like 4 people that know that they're in a bad scene while it's happening, and they're trying their best to make it not a bad scene, but they know it's
Also, they had to shoehorn in the fact that Dorothy has a decent voice so they could have that moment later.
That is a through line. Yeah, good point.
Yes.
Here's another through line. These are 3 adults who have at least been divorced 3 times, so they're definitely jaded from life. And they immediately hop on to whatever stupid antics he wants to do in the car. He's like, car bingo. They're like, I see a dog. They're like immediately in it. And as soon as he can start singing, Huey's like, yeah, I'll start singing too. I'm like, I've never been in a car where some dumb shit suggestion comes in and everyone's immediately hooked.
If it were us in a car and someone suggested car bingo, you'd see the bingo card just fly out the window while the car's going like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, seriously. But
Or at
maybe
least
that's
someone
because we
messing
all
with it.
have that could be because we all have big pieces of lumpy petrified poop in our soul's ass. But I don't know. I just hated that scene. Number 4. Goodbye.
I didn't do what I came for. I didn't finish. I'm so sorry. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Michael.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for letting me have a little fun.
Goodbye, my battling friends.
Goodbye, world's biggest angel.
Godspeed.
There we go for
Yes,
on-screen deaths.
Yeah, I try to always clip them, and I guess that's what that is. He's not dying; he's just ascending again to heaven, right? Like, isn't he going back to heaven? Why does he lose all his feathers then?
Oh no.
It really looks like he's dying, and we're supposed to be sad like that, but I'm not sad at all because I just don't care. And they have Dorothy call him the world's biggest angel to tie it into his obsession with the world's biggest. Yeah, exactly. And they did a Sears Tower thing just before that, where they're like, "This is the world's biggest building," which I think at one point was probably at the point of this movie. But anyway, just cheese, just terrible cheese that doesn't.
Honestly, that scaled the line of worst writing. Honestly,
that's true. It is true. I just I don't know. I love the cringe factor of it. I felt like that made it acting for me. But you're right. It could have been a dialogue.
you're right.
Too.
It fits here especially because it involved Academy Award nominee John Travolta and Academy Award winning William Hurt.
William Hurt.
Yeah.
He's won an Academy Award for acting.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine like the visual of like Nora Ephron at like a typewriter just typing like the end after this and just like satisfyingly getting up and like popping the champagne like the guy from Misery.
Yeah, right. All right, well, that's what we have for acting. Now, Bob, it's time for fact or no fact.
All right.
Fact or no fact?
Money now and a lot more when I get in that office. I can take that to the bank.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. The blood bank.
I couldn't think of anything that goes with Michael, so I just looked up the Danish translation of this movie, and it was called Michael, an angel, not a saint.
Okay.
That's what they called it in Dutch. Okay.
Nice.
So once again, we are looking at 4 facts and 1 lie. Your job is to find the lie out of the other 4 facts.
Yeah.
Here we go. Starting with Travolta took 500 hours of Spanish lessons for this role, just in case. All right. Second one. I should have waited till Christmas to drinking his drink.
Seriously.
Okay. Second one. 2 of Travolta's dogs died while filming a water scene that was eventually cut from the movie.
Wow.
Okay. So one of those 2 is real.
Yeah, that's true.
We're only 2 in.
Yeah.
Okay. William Hurt, Oscar winner William Hurt, refused to stop smoking while making this movie, even though his character doesn't smoke.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Fourth one. This movie was the 16th highest grossing film of 1996. And
96,
the last one.
right?
Yeah, 96, yeah. And last one. Andy McDowell actually sang country and had already written a song about pie and that Side of the Road song, so they worked it into the script.
Okay.
Right.
Those are our 5.
All right, so I believe the country thing because like she could.
Me too.
If that wasn't dubbed in, then she could sing. Okay.
Then it's great acting, which I don't want to admit to in this movie. So. I just assumed that was true.
I'm calling bullshit on the 500 hours of Spanish lessons just in case, only because I know in the movie Phenomena, also starring John Travolta, there's a throwaway line where they're like, "You learn the entire Portuguese language?" And he's like, "Well, most of it." It's like he had like super brain powers or whatever, and like telekinetic powers, and so I think he may have taken Spanish lessons like unneeded, like in that instance as well. But I feel like he may have committed to the role in Phenomenon or Phenomena and done something stupid like that, but not for this movie. So that's where I think the Bob foolery is. 2 of his dogs died while filming a water scene. That was eventually cut from production. I'm going to come back to that. William Hurt refused to stop smoking while making this movie, and this is the 16th highest grossing film of 19. No, ugh. But like, I don't know because
but it is though.
4 of these are real. 4 of these are real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, based on billing alone with the cast, if they had a really strong opening weekend before the reviews like made their way around in '96, it could have pulled in a shitload of money.
I think it did. I'll bet that's true.
So, and 16th isn't like that great.
No,
when you're talking like big production, so like that is kind of believable, I guess. I'm gonna say the 500 hours of Spanish is the lie, only because I think he did something similar, but for a different movie.
Yeah, that would be Bob foolery for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. There's no way that they let another dog die in a water scene they weren't going to use for the movie anyway. Maybe one died, but they would never put another dog's life in jeopardy. And I don't remember saying no animal was harmed in the making of this film at the end. Come to think of it,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm still gonna go with that. 2 dogs did not die in a water scene that wasn't used in the movie. That's the lie.
If an animal does get injured, they have to put like how many were hurt.
6 dogs.
6 dogs
with their name and a photo.
We burned through 7 Airbuds while making this film.
And here's Bobby the bull, who Travolta did headbutt.
All right. Sorry, Rob, I'm going to start at the beginning, but Travolta did take 500 hours of Spanish lessons. And
just in case.
And when they asked him why, he said, "Just in case."
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? He's got like a walk-in closet the size of our homes full of wigs, we found out, right? He personally catered Battlefield Earth. I'm done. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, so the dog thing. There was going to be so Travolta owned 3 dogs, and all of them looked the same, and they were all trained to be in this movie.
Okay.
And they were training for a water scene that never got made, but during the training, 2 of them died.
That's the truth?
That's this fact.
What the fuck, dude? Are you kidding me?
And they were both his.
Jesus Christ.
I need to read an authorized biography of this man because like he just continues to perplex me as we go further in the show.
God, I fucking hate him so much. Did he put all 3 of them in the pool at the same time and then both of them died? Like,
It was like
3 didn't make it.
It was like a raging water river type scene. It wasn't like a pool.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
and after 2
if
of
they
them
did
died.
it
Go ahead.
After 2 of them died, they're like, "We're gonna cut the scene. We need the 3rd one to get
died. After 2 of them died, they're like, let's just run it over with a truck instead.
That's
why it was in one piece. It actually drowned first.
That's the thing is
it never made it to the truck.
That was not a prop body in his arms. That was a waterlogged dog. That's one of John Travolta's waterlogged dogs in his arms.
Oh, God.
Anyway, what's the fucking lie then, Bob?
So William Hurt actually did smoke all through the filming.
Yeah, I figured.
And this was the 16th highest grossing film of 96.
Wow.
Annie
Damn,
McDowell
so-
is not a country singer. She's actually sang nothing on film except for this.
I'm impressed then. You know, like
Yeah, she can sing.
Really wasn't bad. She can sing. I mean, the lyrics are bad, but they're you know, country, in my opinion, country lyrics are bad on the whole.
Yeah.
So
It's
it fit the bill. All
Yeah,
right. Well,
this movie came out on Christmas, so it made a ton of money on opening weekend because it was an Angel movie. It came out on Christmas.
Yeah.
And
the
then
cast is good.
a bunch of people saw it between Christmas and New Year's, and then it did really well on rentals. It just, it made a lot of money.
I'm not that surprised by that, and I did say that it had like a Christmas movie feel by the end.
I mean, it's only 2 years after Pulp Fiction, so he was still riding high.
Yeah.
Pulling a lot of viewers.
That's why I wrote the pitch that I did, because it's amazing that 2 years after Pulp Fiction he does Broken Arrow and Phenomenon and this.
I say, look at the cover of the movie. It's just a big freaking picture of his face.
He just like
Yeah, seriously, it tells you nothing.
Yeah,
it tells you nothing about the movie. And plus, the name is Michael, which is terrible.
Yeah.
So, like, when you plug it into IMDb, they're like, "Which actor do you want?" Like, no, I'm looking for the movie.
The
All right.
Michael.
Anyway, yeah, the Michael. The catch-all.
Time to have a little bit of fun with the catch-all. We're gonna get our little nets. We're gonna prance around like SpongeBob catching the jellyfish, and we're gonna catch every darn little thing that we want to. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Well, you did beat me to it, but Randy Newman. And then I wrote poor Bob Hoskins, because you also beat me to that. How many fucking is this the 4th or 5th movie we've done with him in it? We did Hook, right?
Hook,
We did
Super Mario.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yep. We did Son of the Mask.
Mm-hmm.
Was he
We
in
did
Son of the
this.
Mask?
Yeah, he was Odin.
Yep.
He was Loki's dad. And I feel like there was another, but this is the 4th. And I said to my head chef, Chef Taylor, that I wouldn't be opposed to doing Who Framed Roger Rabbit as a good movie episode, just to redeem Bob Hoskins at some point, because that movie is really good.
Is Bob Hoskins, is he just like a super prolific, like Nicolas Cage type, where it's just like while his jet engines are like ascending into the stratosphere, like he just sucks up a bunch of garbage along with it?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like his I don't know, his aesthetic is probably, like, he was never going to be a lead man, sadly for him. But I don't think he's a bad actor. I think in most of these bad movies we see with him in them, he's the best part.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that he's like halfway between a regular like bar brawler guy and Danny DeVito, and people aren't willing to make that the A-list actor. So
he's kind of dumpy. Yeah.
I think there's a British movie called Passed Away that he's in that's really good.
He's
I'll
great.
I'll have to look it up.
All right.
I don't even think, and he doesn't have an English accent, right?
No, he does.
Oh, he does. So that
Yeah,
was
he
not
does.
it. So every movie that he does where he's doing an American accent, so to speak, he's acting.
He's doing an American accent, yeah.
So
He's
when
awesome.
he's in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, as the amazing, like his best role ever, it's an American accent he's doing.
Yep.
Just so that you know, poor Bob Hoskins, Hasek, I almost said. Driving through Virginia, PTSD for me, because they're not actually driving through Virginia, but they're driving through like just farmland. And I used to go to North Carolina every year, like a couple times a year. And once you hit Virginia, it's just 4 straight hours of the same thing.
Yeah.
Like on either side of the highway, it's just the same bullshit for 4
It's hard
hours.
to say. You do that thing where you're like, you blink, and next thing you know, you're like in the breakdown lane, and you're like,
Yeah, you're like, oh shit. Milk
George is
milk
the same
bottle.
way.
Yeah, that's true, because I've gone to Florida a couple times by car.
Yeah.
It is true until you like hit this weird fucking stretch of like swamps, and you're like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
until you hit Atlanta and just want to roll out of the fucking car and let the other cars hit you because you're in gridlock for 10 fucking hours.
Milk Bottle Motel. Yuck.
Yeah.
That's a weird name.
Yeah.
Sparky's origin story is borderline offensive. It almost went into my offensive test, but we already had 9 of them. I mean, so Huey finds him like begging for food on the side of the road or whatever. Like he comes up to him in a parking lot begging him for scraps.
Yeah.
And then Huey's just like fortuitous in that his boss comes along and says, "Oh, is that your dog? Like I had a dog like that. I'm obsessed with it, blah, blah, blah." So he uses it as like a point of leverage. That was probably someone else's dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's his dog. So what the fuck? Everyone is unrealistically obsessed with Sparky also.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like he has the same magnetism that Michael does. I'm not going to go any further with that thought, but
Okay.
the wings look awful.
Yeah, they don't look good.
They don't look good. They don't look like functional. Like he could, like they question whether he can fly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an angel. He should be able to. What are the wings for?
When you consider that Dogma came out in 1999 and the Archangel wings were so much freaking better.
Oh yeah,
They were. Yeah.
No chemistry between the characters. We kind of mentioned this, but
yeah,
just that it's choppy. But I don't feel like they're in love. I don't feel like Huey and Frank are friends. I don't understand why everyone doesn't think Michael is annoying, because I would.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, because he's gonna save all their jobs. So I mean, like if you're between like a rock and a hard place, and like you got bills to pay and shit, you'd put up with a tremendous amount of bullshit in like the 90s.
Sure,
like
they could
have
they could have done a scene though where like Frank and Dorothy are talking about Michael, like in their hotel room at the end of the night, and they just hear him say like, "I can hear that," or something like his voice is in the room. Something like that would be funny, but like just so we know that they're annoyed.
Yeah,
You think you're better than Nora Ephron? You think you're better than Nora Ephron, Chris?
Yeah, actually.
Yes, we all are.
With this movie, I think, yeah. Pansy calls them fools, and they're not offended. So she's like, Michael doesn't suffer fools, and they're all just like, "Oh, okay. Well, we'll see you in the morning."
Yeah.
Michael doesn't know anything about heaven because the writers don't want to touch the subject.
That's a very good point.
He's an archangel that fought Satan, and he's arguing with bank managers for an old lady now.
Yeah.
I mean, he peaked. He peaked long ago.
That's like Motley Crue playing a state fair. Like it's that fall from grace where they should be playing because they suck now, and they always have sucked. But you know the point I'm trying to make here.
Yeah.
The bank story is supposed to be the moment where we accept that he's an angel, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not at all. He goes in there and like argues with like the supervisor at the bank, and we're supposed to believe he's divine now. What does Travolta have against bovine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do we call it in the Battlefield Earth episode?
Ground beef.
Ground beef. Yeah.
Ground beef.
Travolta in Battlefield Earth famously like shoots like target practice on cows, and he even does like sarcastic behind the back shot where he blows a fucking cow's leg off. Just wondering what he's got against cows.
Was he in Wild Hogs or not?
He was.
Yeah.
Is there anything cow related in that one?
Oh, I have no doubt.
I don't remember because
I didn't watch that one. I couldn't get through it. I wasn't on the pod yet.
Well, you're foreshadowing bad news for yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, the bar fight scene is meant to play for laughs, but it's just boring.
Yeah.
So is the dance.
The dance too. Too true. Want destruction of small business once again.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And it's another bar.
Yep.
Just a couple of weeks ago. Another large jail cell to fit everyone in together.
Yeah.
You gotta love these.
Yeah.
Like they'd be processing all 4 of them together.
Yeah, if you commit crimes together, I don't think they're gonna lock you up in the same cell because clearly you guys like are trouble when you're with each
together.
other.
Yeah, there's no chance they would do that. I feel like Okay, yeah. Archangels sleep standing up, apparently. That was
Yep.
just one of those like corny things that they did to make him seem like different.
Yeah.
Like a horse.
You know?
Was the dog with them in the cell?
Yeah, he had a bed outside the cell. Because Huey is like, go get the keys. Go into the desk and get the keys. Which
Yep.
had me thinking of The Mask, but
Yep.
so this movie is inspiring other movies left and right, apparently.
Yeah.
They are also all at court together. Same
Yep.
court
Yeah.
case for all of them.
Yeah, they should be like 4 different defendants, right? Or however many defendants.
Well,
Yeah,
they
well,
are.
tell me this. What did Dorothy do?
Yeah, she didn't do anything. She
Yeah.
ate and abetted, I guess.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Because she drove them there? Seems a little unfair.
Yep.
The world's largest nonstick frying pan. They use it? Do they use it? I mean, he says that that's got Teflon on it so that they have less cholesterol every year. When
He
they
was
use
going
it,
to
right?
explain how they use it, just like some annual something, but we never got to hear it.
Well, I'd like to see a demonstration of you using that fucking like 12-foot frying pan.
If
It
I'm not
looked cast iron.
mistaken, yeah.
You can. You're not moving that thing on it. On what? On what? You make a giant fire pit?
If I'm
Put
not
it over that?
mistaken, Paul Bunyan put pads of butter on his feet and skated across the pan so he could make flapjacks. I learned that in like 3rd
Yes.
grade during our
Yes.
Tall Tales unit that went on for like 3 fucking marking periods.
Well,
Yeah,
thank God we have.
That's how.
we-
With Babe the Blue Ox.
yes, good old Babe. The married couple had nothing better to do than to join them at the bar.
That was yeah.
Guess what? The waitress has nothing better to do than to join them at the bar, even though she's on her shift.
Yeah.
Well, considering how many pies that's the pie scene, right? Like she's probably
Well, yeah, she joins them for pie and for after pie.
she's probably trying to like she's probably going like if they spent $300 on pie and I'm like I charm them, they'll give me at least 18% and like I can take a couple days off next week.
Yeah, but everyone's sick of Tiffany's shit at this point.
That's true.
You know, like charming everybody with pie, here and in the hotel connected.
Yeah.
You know, for better tips, and she's just gonna get laid off at this point. I think they're just gonna get rid of her. A fucking pie song, and now she's on stage.
Yeah.
We need I said this about I think this was Nothing But Trouble too. I said that they needed a musical number to stretch out the length of the movie. They needed like an extra
Probably
5-10 minutes. But she shows
after in the doggy deaths, they're like, shit, that was like a 5-minute scene.
yeah. Whoops.
Yeah.
We've only got one dog left to star in the movie. Better. So she shows the guitar. This reminds me of I think it was what was it? It was the Tooth Fairy with The Rock, where the kid's playing guitar and the band like joins him at the talent show. Yeah, it reminds me of that because she shows the guitar player some song notes, and then the whole band knows how to play her song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they were even notes. I mean, it looked like a legal, not even a notebook size piece of paper. It was like a
She's like,
Molestation,
she said something like "Watch out for the B minor" or something like that to sound like she's got musical jargon.
Yeah.
So Michael had essentially no effect on anyone.
Yeah.
Until they're reunited later.
I guess.
He's gone, and I'm supposed to be emotional. We said this already in the worst acting, but it does not tug at the heartstrings at all. The angel hair pasta and angel food cake bit is just so lame.
Yep.
Like, they're constantly reminded everywhere they go about Michael, the angel that they encountered.
Yeah, that was really bad.
It was
really, really bad.
Really terrible. The long form storyline is that Michael is here to change Frank's heart, but that's hardly perceivable.
It is.
I mean, I got it because eventually he kind of says it, but like And then I kind of just reviewed the movie in that that lens, and I was like, I guess, but you're really, really forcing it. This movie is premise and then a rushed production. How do we get from A to B? Who cares? Just get it done quickly. The premise is solid enough. That's what I think happened here.
Yeah, I think so.
We have Travolta, and it's an angel on Earth who's just like a regular guy. What if God was one of us? That's the
Stranger on the
premise.
Bus, yeah.
Just fucking let's just fucking write it. We'll have a movie. We'll make a bunch of money. Who gives a fuck? That's what this movie is. You guys want to mention anything else before you throw it to Rob's Magic Marvel Corner?
Totally. 3 reporters. They sent 3. Not one goddamn camera was sent with them.
Oh my god, yeah.
I know it was 96. I know it was 96, so they only had like 35 millimeter cameras. They didn't have digital
But
yet.
still.
But still.
There's AFV is going strong at this point.
I had a camera, a regular
Yeah.
camera in 1996,
Yeah.
not a film camera. So if I had one,
they should have. That's their trade.
Even one of those little like cassette tape players that like Macaulay Culkin speaks into on Home Alone.
Yes.
Something to document anything that's happening.
So
Yeah, then you can
that's
play
my
it
beef.
backwards. And play it backwards and see if he's an angel or actually a demon or something.
Yeah.
Rob, you got anything for your corner?
No, I'm just really glad this movie won because I feel like it's pissed you guys both off.
It
in
really
ways
pissed me off, man. It
in
really
ways that
did. It
makes
made
me
me
very
very
happy.
upset. Yeah. All right. Throw it to Rob's Magic Marvel Corner.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out! Here comes the Spider-Man.
Rob's Magic Movie Corner.
Doctor Strange. This might. I'm just gonna start. This might be my favorite Marvel movie so far.
Wow.
And I know nothing about like if there's a comic for Doctor Strange. I have no idea. I don't. This was my introduction to the character, like outright.
Yeah, there was a comic. Yeah. Should I go first, Bob?
Yeah, I guess so.
Do superhero names like Doctor Strange bother you? You know how like superhero names are often like associated with what their superpower is, and it's too coincidental and annoying.
I don't mind.
It doesn't bother me, obviously.
No, it's it's campy. It's like it's. I'm trying not to shit on Marvel now because I was told not to with that nice email I received. But like that's what superheroes. It's like it comes with the territory. There's got to be a little bit of cornball in there. We're talking like these were probably made in like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
So that's all they had. Like, his last name's Strange and he's a doctor and then he becomes Doctor.
And everything goes weird. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So,
it kind of bugs me.
I'm okay with it.
All right, so this is why I don't watch these movies. There seem to be no rules, like, and when there's no rules, how can there be a clear protagonist antagonist? So my question for you is, reversing time to bring someone back to life, does that kind of writing annoy you or not?
It's a cop out for sure. Because here's the thing though, because I feel like superhero movies they need to lean into tropes because they're trying to have so much other cool shit happening. You need to have it anchored somewhere, so they anchor it in the tropes. And I think how you work around the tropes or work them into those plots, it's a necessary evil. And I did like how he just kept coming back like over and over again.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
I'm here to bargain with you. 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 It was amusing. Like I enjoyed that aspect.
I liked the movie. I thought it was pretty good.
Like I also recently watched The Flash. And they had a similar time loop with that child molester guy who plays him.
Bill Cosby.
And Ezra Miller. Yeah. But yeah, it's like it was done much better in Doctor Strange. It was the same kind of mechanism, but the performance was amusing. It made me laugh. It was like, you keep coming back until you're basically just like you're wearing this guy down mentally with how annoying you are by continuing to come back, that he just eventually just like, all right, well, we're gonna get the hell out of here and do something else because I want to do other shit.
My second is it's fun. It's a funny transition because you're talking about movie tropes like anchoring the
Yeah.
story down. The punishment for uncontrolled hubris and the redemption arc for the damaged man is a tried and true story structure. Is it successful here?
It was a fun movie, but like his whole character arc was founded on him he was texting and driving.
It's true.
It's just really stupid. It's like because he's so arrogant in the beginning. Like he's like a house. Like no one knows better than me. I'm the smartest. I'm the best surgeon. And then like his downfall is because he's trying to work while driving to a banquet.
Yep, in the rain.
In the rain,
a sports
on
car,
a winding mountain road.
on the side of a cliff.
So like they could have set it up better. I think it was really that was the biggest fault in the film. But the course of events after that incident were it was a good movie in like the Marvel canon. I think they did.
I defend it.
They did a good job carrying the story. Yeah.
Well, I feel bad. I didn't watch this, but I read the story. And I have like the same question as Chris. I said,
okay,
based on what I read, I'm asking, do you think Doctor Strange had a redemption arc, or he was still a dick?
He's still a dick.
Okay.
Like, because he basically his girlfriend, I forget her name. I need to add. I downloaded like the Blu-ray so I could watch it at 2x, but the English subs worked, but the actual dubs were in Mandarin. So I watched the entire movie in Mandarin at 2x with English subtitles. But his girlfriend, she's like staying by him. He's like, "You're useless," and then like he goes through like this giant like astral traveling Zen like meditative thing, and then he comes back and like scares the shit out of her while she's in the middle of surgery, and he's like, "Hey, I need you for a second." And he's like, "Thanks for helping me, bye." It's kind of dick.
He is.
Yeah.
Speaking of dick moves, number 3 for me is, how long did it take Doctor Strange to look up wiener growing magic spells?
4 seconds. Soft to medium 4 seconds.
Soft to medium 4 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it took him long. Because his hands were fucked, so he couldn't jerk. So like
true.
He either had to grow it out so it could reach his mouth, or learn how to like mentally masturbate himself. If I had to guess.
Or do like an alakazoo and like throw sparks on it in a way that feels nice.
Isn't that what Sting does? I've heard that.
Sting
what?
Sting, the musician from the Police. He's into tantric sex and edging.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've read. I don't have any firsthand like knowledge of this, but I've heard that.
Cool.
I've heard the same thing, so that means it's true.
It's definitely true.
It's actually what every breath you take is about.
He's talking to his dick.
He's like, "I need you to whisper gently on my penis."
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
I just want to feel your breath.
Give me 2 more days.
All right. I feel like I feel like Chris has an opinion on this. So let me ask you, what is your opinion on mid or post credit scenes?
I feel the same way about bands performing encores. I paid for the show. Just give me the whole thing up front.
Yeah,
maybe that was your opinion, and I forget who talked about that.
I asked the question. I asked basically the same exact question. Like,
oh, okay.
I don't know, like second Rob's Marvel.
Because I was reading it was like a whole scene that like set up the next movie. I'm like, why put that at the end of the credits?
Yeah, because at this point the audience expects it. So if you don't deliver the Ferris Bueller, what are you still doing here? It's like
I think they do that in Marvel because. I think the VFX crews are basically working under the worst goddamn conditions, and that's a way you can get people to stick around and read the credits.
Yeah, that's fair. Good thing there weren't any CGI scenes in Oppenheimer.
Dude, I'm still laughing my ass off at that. I will tell that story on another podcast, but
very cool. All right, well then, bad credit names.
You're the biggest liar of them all. I am warning you. You tell me another and I'll rescue myself. That is a promise, Miss
Rose, Sister Rose.
Of course. Another plant, Rose.
Bad credit names.
Brick Mason. I think we've said him before.
Okay.
Nice.
Brick Mason. Buzzy Burwell.
Okay.
Peter Ace Simonite. You know that guy's a douche.
Yeah.
No one gave him that nickname.
Yeah, he wears Toms. And, like,
He definitely
cuffs up
gave
his
himself that
jeans.
nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah. My name's Peter Simonite, but you can call me Ace.
Yeah.
Why? Well, because I play a lot of poker. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Jerabob King.
Ew.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Jerabob. Sieve Spackling. It's not even Steve. It's Seve. It's like Steve without the T. Sieve Spackling.
Or 7 without the N.
Yeah, or 7 without the N. Mickey McGovern.
Good stuff.
Mickey McGovern. And the winner this week, Mark Nutter.
Nice.
The winner.
Mark
Good for
Nutter,
him.
he had his last blast on the set of Michael.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's throw it to the movie comparison.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to compare the movies.
Leonard Part 6, still the champion. Michael, worst, negative 58.4 and worst for Leonard Part 6. Michael, negative 35.2 and worst. So, clear victory from Leonard Part 6. Has been almost unbeatable in this category. I think it lost last week, though. No? I don't remember. It was last week or the week before.
Last week, maybe, yeah.
It's also a heavy hitter when it comes to the team 5-star that it got for the Ain't That a Pitch test that we do in this one too. Rob, you got a 4-star, which is great, but it's not enough to take the win there.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive minigame we will do in a minute. Dialogue. What's worse, Michael or Leonard Part 6? I think it's Leonard Part 6, sadly.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's worse, bad writing for production or confusing and disjointed everything arc?
I'm going to go with Michael on this one.
I'm going Michael on this one, too.
I agree.
Because not only did it have a confusing and disjointing arc, it was also poorly written. So it has like both going against it.
Yeah.
Truth. Acting, what's worse? I think it's got to be Leonard.
I'm torn on this one because, well, Bob Hoskins wins me over every time.
Were there any on-screen deaths in Leonard Part 6? I could top
just the guy's head blowing up. Remember?
Yeah. But that's
his body was walking around.
Yeah, but that's more slapstick though. I feel like the Michael one, like there's like he was earnestly trying to portray a man's or an angel's death. And
all right, you won me. They were earnestly trying to win us over with the acting, and Michael, I'll go acting for Michael as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And demerits. What about Michael beats Bill Cosby as a demerit?
The cereal scene.
All right, I'll go with you. All right, I'm gonna write down cereal. I'm gonna give it a check mark. I'm fucking sick of doing this fucking offensive minigame with Bill Cosby. I can't make it funny anymore. All right, let's throw it to the offensive minigame.
Yeah.
I can kill you now, or I can relieve you of this gift. This black gift.
The not so mini offensive minigame.
Lobster Cosby crotch or punching plants.
This is coming from the seed dad. It's like an almond mom, but
is it? I'm a seed dad.
I just made that up.
Okay, listen. Have you ever seen Leon the Professional?
Yes, I love it.
Jean Reno, I think is his name.
Yes,
Natalie Portman.
He cares for his plants too.
He has one plant that he loves, and I when I was like 19, I was like, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna love her one plant,
All right.
And then my sister fucking killed it.
Yeah. Does she listen to the show?
I don't know. I don't think so. I have some family that live with her that too. So I hope they point her in the direction of this episode so that she feels bad.
Yeah.
Well, what are you picking? Lobster Cosby crotch or punching plants?
I guess I'm gonna go with the punching plants, I guess, because there's clearly other people like you, Chris, that like get emotionally invested in that. And like the lobster thing is just like pedophilia aside, like it wasn't that offensive. It was just like, oh, melted butter.
Right,
So,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll go punching plans.
Okay, punch of plans. All right, Fish pauses for Playboy or Es-kid-mos.
Es-kid-mos. That's
For
appropriation.
offensive, it'd be Es-kid-mos.
Wow. Wowie wow. Okay, you guys want a bonus anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael maybe molesting?
Okay.
Maybe? Or Cosby sauna creeping?
So they're both molestation adjacent.
Yeah. That's the bonus round.
Honestly, I think Michael is basically giving them Aroma roofies.
Yeah.
Can that go in the write-up, Aroma roofies?
It's in.
Sick.
That's
Yeah.
a tie,
So
I
that's
guess.
why I'm going with Michael on that one.
Okay, well, 2-0 victory if it's a tie then, or 3 even. Making Michael the worst of the season. Holy shit! Did not see Michael beating out Leonard Part 6, but a 4-3 narrow escape from Michael. We will see Michael again next week when we pair it against another terrible John Travolta movie in Old Dogs.
Is he beating out JCVD and Seagal right now?
He is the
our
MV fucking P of this podcast for sure.
In our
Travolta
canon,
is like,
yeah,
he's like the one and only right now. I mean, he's got Battlefield Earth. We did Wild Hogs. We did this one. What else did we do? There are so many bad Travolta movies. We can make it a podcast about
Gotti,
bad Travolta movies. Gotti, yeah.
Yeah, Gotti was one. This one.
Wow.
Sadly, we'll be doing our second Robin Williams movie.
Oh yeah.
We did Hook, and Old Dogs is also starring Robin Williams. Not on the bill is what's his face, Seth Green.
All right.
He's no Jamie Kennedy. They couldn't get Jamie Kennedy for Old Dogs.
Had to get Seth
So
Green.
they got Seth Green.
And then they don't bring out Kevin Spacey until the third act, and he's not in the opening credits, right?
Right, exactly. So Old Dogs for next
If
week.
I'm not mistaken, this is Disney. So Rob might need your help with this one.
It is Disney. It's like 2009. I had never heard of it. I was just, like I said to you guys, I was rummaging through the John Travolta filmography to see exactly when he had his collapse. And I think it was right after Pulp Fiction, and that's why I wrote the pitch the way that I did. But I came across this one, and I was like, holy shit, that looks like the worst movie ever made. We need to fucking put it on a poll. So that's what we did. It won by 36% to 32 and 32 respectively for you guys.
Wow.
Yeah. So very close poll, but next week we'll be doing Old Dogs, a sleeper. Came out of nowhere. Who
sleeper
knew?
of the century, yeah.
It will be that's why I said you were like kind of foreshadowing earlier, Bob, because I think it will be a lot like Wild Hogs was. I was skeptical of whether or not we'd make a good podcast out of it because it's a bad comedy. Bad comedies are difficult. But Wild Hogs proved to be one of our better episodes, I think. So I'm looking forward to next week. I'm sure that I won't say that after I've seen Old Dogs because it seems like I'm going to struggle to come up with new tricks for making fun of a movie like that.
Well, I wasn't on the other podcast, so hopefully I'll bring in some fresh meat.
Excellent.
And honestly, after watching Michael, I'm thinking this is going to be tough, and this is like one of our best episodes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think every week we are improving. This podcast gets better all the time, and I love the listeners. Thank you so much. Thank you for the email, Sissy. Was it Sissy or did she call us sissies? Did he?
He called us sissies, I think.
Oh, really?
No, the name was Sissy. I was just poking fun.
Thank you, Sissy. And thank you very much to all the rest of you for listening. Email us, make fun of us. We are doing Cobra in 2 weeks because we got an email that said Cobra among others, and we will consider the other choices for polls going forward. Love you guys. Rob, why don't you plug us and send it over to Bob for his last word?
Yeah, go to www.theworstmovieevermade.com. We have a Gotti episode. We have a Battlefield Earth episode. We have a Wild Hogs episode. And as of this recording, we have a Michael episode. So you can find them on all the streaming platforms. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram. Chris does polls. Bob does trailers every week. And then we're on YouTube every Sunday. That follows our Wednesday audio-only episode release. Bob, final words?
Oh, last blast.
Perfect.
Cool. And then I think we forgot to play a clip during the catch-all.
We did. Yeah, let's play it out. Yeah.
I'm going to play the show out with Sudden Country Star. Have a good week, guys.
His tires were bald, and they went flat. So did our love, and that was that.
Maybe you could write a song about my wife.
Do you love her?
She drives me wild.
What about her?
She had her lips done. Had little bits of fat squeezed into them. Now my wife has lips like a blowfish. But in a good way.
My wife has lips like a blowfish. I don't see it, but you know, I could be wrong. If I had any talent as a country singer, I wouldn't be sitting on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. Sitting on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. Sounds awfully familiar.
It's good, though.
No, it's not.
It's terrible.
Have a good week, everybody.